Well, hello again. We're going to talk about a little bit more about guinea pigs today, and hope you've enjoyed the other videos. But in this video, we're actually going to just briefly discuss housing. Obviously, guinea pigs aren't like our cats and dogs where they just have free roam of the house. So we do have to keep them somewhere safe, especially if we do have cats and dogs in the house. So Snowflake is here again to help us, and she is obviously this is just kind of a little temporary place that she's in right here, just so we can see her a lot better. For example, here's a cage next to Snowflake that we use very commonly. These are one of the most common cages that we'll see. Guinea pigs are very active animals. They love to run and play, so giving them a lot of space on the ground is very important so that they can move around. The cages are actually, like this, are more designed for a guinea pig just for keeping them safe, at times. I actually don't recommend always keeping them in here. The most important thing we can do with Snowflake is get her out to exercise her. And a lot of people have built little play areas for guinea pigs, which is awesome. You can actually get them out a couple times a day so they can run and play. But this is a good sized cage. I mean, what I always recommend for a guinea pig is the biggest possible cage that you can get. There's some really good websites that have cages online, and we can actually provide some links for those. But I mean, this is something that, like I said, the biggest possible cage that you can find. They're not climbing animals, so you don't need a real tall cage like some of the other animals that we see here, but a real long cage is very important. And if you have more than one guinea pig, which is also a good idea, you would need an even bigger cage. The other nice thing about guinea pigs is they don't typically escape as much as other rodents do, so you don't have to worry about them climbing out or jumping out. So if you don't have any cats or dogs or any other predatory type animals in your house, you really don't even need a top for a guinea pig. I'll see a lot of cages that people have made online that are just extremely large, but there's no top to them, and that's perfectly fine. As long as the walls are tall enough that they can't kind of jump over it, you'll be fine. This is, like I said, so this is just one example. The most important thing, like I said, is just allowing them to get enough exercise. If they sit around and don't do any kind of activity, that can be very bad for their health. And like I said, this is just kind of a little temporary. I know you're so good. This is just a little temporary house here for Snowflake, so that we can see her, because she would go in her little home there and hide. But we will provide some internet sources on great cages. The other thing that's important that I didn't mention is I don't typically recommend a metal base to a guinea pig cage. Their urine can be very basic, and it can actually corrode the metal, as you may find out if you have that. I also do not recommend aquariums for guinea pigs. They need a lot of open air. Just because they do urinate a lot, and that can cause some health problems if there's not a lot of airflow. So as you can tell, any cage like this that has open air, more of a plastic bottom to make it easier for you to clean, is very important. And that's just about it. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of basic, simple cages out there. The most important thing to remember is the biggest possible cage that you can get, and if you can't afford a bigger cage for a guinea pig or cannot make a bigger cage, then as long as you're getting them out a couple times a day to exercise, that's very, very fine to do and very important.